Good morning, afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this, on whenever you're watching this. Today's video, as the title says, is how to stop comparing yourself to others. And now, I think if there's a video that I've done, I think this is probably one that applies to pretty much everyone. Maybe not everyone, but quite a lot of people I think have definitely experienced this. And I have as well through periods of my life where I've just gone, oh yeah, but that person's doing so good. And like for me personally, just to, start off with a vulnerable statement is, my friend circle is sort of, 30s plus really, in fact, probably a bit older than that really, the average really. I look at everyone, what they've all got, and I go, fuck, why have I not got that yet? And I'm not doing this, I'm doing that, etc. and whatever else. So that's something for me in the past that I really had to deal with, and I think I'm good now. I pretty much do my own thing, but that's something personally that I struggle with, and I thought, maybe other people do as well. And when I speak to others and they go, yeah, but I'm not doing this, and I haven't got the house, and I haven't done this, and I haven't done that, and I haven't got kids, and I'm not settled down yet, and I'm not this. I think once you realize that you and you alone have your own timeline, and I think this helps out with all sorts of different situations, breakups and fucking, losing jobs, like that's just your journey. Like, I think your life will become a little bit better and a little bit easier when you realize that everyone's journey is just so different. So different. You are on your own path. And when everyone is on their own path, there is no right and wrong. I don't believe. Although morally, ethically, there will be. I think as soon as you start thinking that you are anything like that person that you're, comparing yourself to, you've already lost, because you're so different to all of those people that you're comparing yourself to. There might even be a different gender, different hair, different. Even if you pretty much look the same, you're still going to think different. There's going to be something that's different, and I think that fundamental sort of point there is you're different, so treat yourself differently. Don't compare yourself, because it's like comparing apples to elephants or bananas to knives. They're just so out of the fucking blue, they're so different that you can't compare. And also, even if you could compare, you have a different timeline, you have a different path. I guess in a relationship, you could well be on the same sort of path, running parallel with someone that you're with, and their path might veer off differently for whatever reason. It's quite hard to go for a breakup still for someone just to drift away. But they're just on a different path. They're just not, they were coming together. It's a collaboration for a moment in time. Maybe it's a year, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 3 months or 4 months. But then you drift apart. And that's just because they're on their own journey. That's because they're on their own timeline. So bringing this back to comparing yourself to others in terms of how you are, sort of seeing life right now. See it through your own lenses. Don't see it through other people's. Because as soon as you see it through your other people's, you're going like, right, well, they've got the car, so I need the car. Or they've gone on holiday, so I need to go on. No. You do your own fucking shit. Like, for me personally, I don't have a house. I rent this place. I don't think I'll own a house for a while, because that's not my plan. And that's fine. Like, to go with everyone else where, there'll be people going, oh, maybe you should buy a house, you need to buy a house. That's usually out of fear. For a lot of reasons, for them to project onto you. They project their own fear onto you. Don't let that bother you. Have your own fucking shield up. For a lot of people, it's their own personal choice. So they just want to fucking get a house. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing right with it. Whatever. They're just doing their own thing. Because they are not me and I am not them. And we're very, very different. The way that I see life is very different to a lot of people. Just very similar to how you see life is going to be very different to me. So as soon as you realize and you agree with me, I hope you're watching this and you agree with me that you're very different to everyone else, then that's when it should change for you, I think. Because then you should be like, oh shit, yeah. You don't need the house by 30 and to be settled down with kids and do all of this shit. You don't need any of that. I want to personally go traveling. I'd love a dog right now, but I want to go traveling. So I'm sort of thinking, well, could I bring the dog with me or not? Probably not. So I'm probably not going to get the dog. But my friends have got dogs and I want a dog. But you have to realize that you make your own choices and your own different lifestyle. Sort of, your perfect lifestyle will be very different to mine, and it'll be different for everyone else's. If you're not ready to settle down and buy a house, like in my example, I'm going all in on business stuff. I don't need to save the 20 grand is going into businesses or 30 grand for a deposit, whatever it is, is going into business and to try and make more and to do more. Rather than trying to save up, 30, 40, 50K, put it into one thing. For me personally, I don't want to do that. And that's just my choice. That's not a right or wrong decision. Just like you wouldn't be right or wrong if you did that yourself, like if you wanted to put it into a house or not, or if you want to just splash it on traveling. There's no right and wrong really in this sort of realm. There's not really much right and wrong in life other than morally and ethically, of course. But you might want to jumpstart your career and you don't want a relationship. Or maybe you're happy with a career and you do want a relationship. It doesn't matter. I think we can cover also people being single. Like, I'm single right now. I'm fucking loving it, man. Like, don't get me wrong. It's great to have attention from someone who gives a fuck about you. I'm enjoying that. But like, being my own thing is really good. Don't mean it's right or wrong. If you're in a relationship wishing to be single or single wishing to be in a relationship, do your own fucking shit. Don't look at anyone else. Do your own thing. Stay in your fucking lane and work on yourself and do your own thing. That person will come anyway, if that's you right now. But getting a house is a giant like lifestyle change. Getting a dog is a giant lifestyle change too. And understanding that maybe you're just not ready for it. And also, age has got nothing to do with it. I know people that have got houses at 18. I know people that have got houses at 35, 40, 50, whatever. I know people who started businesses at 45 or started them at 18. It doesn't matter. None of this shit that's in your mind, like it's comparing and social thing, it's a load of shit. So it needs to be ridded from your mind. Comparing is really difficult, really. And I don't really ever see any much like positive to comparing. Because when you're comparing, you look at everyone else. Just worry about your own thing. And like I said, I've definitely done this before, but maybe you don't want to jump into a relationship because you're still like heartbroken over the last thing that happened 2 years ago. That's okay too. You don't need to force yourself into do anything. You just have to do your own thing, stay in your lane. Don't worry about all the cars which are driving alongside you. Just focus on the finish line. If you have the finish line, or focus on the journey. Look at the sunset in the distance, the beautiful journey. Because that's what life is. Life is journey. It isn't end goal. And this is another thing that I need to work on too, is seeing life a little bit more like that. But yeah, I hope that's helped someone today. I think the long and short of it is, you've got your own journey, you're on your own path, you're traveling at your own speed. There is no time that you have to hit something for. You don't have to do something by 30. You don't have to do any of these things. You just have to do your own thing, just wallow on. If you feel like you're behind, you're probably not behind them in everything, you're probably ahead of them on a lot of things. Just because you're comparing one thing, don't compare one thing, compare everything if you need to. But I bet you're doing better than them at something. So you need to focus on that. But yeah, stay in your lane, do your thing. Make sure you're not focusing on everything else. Don't look at social media, it's a lot of shit. I had a real rough few days, just literally 5-6 days ago, and here I am. I'm good now, I was really shit. This is life. Life ain't always just like this. It's falls at highs and lows, man. My business partner, James, says to me, you're at the bottom of the mountain, you go up the mountain, and you come down the mountain. And then there's another mountain. And in there's little crooks, as they call it in climbers. There's that thing that's like that fucking almost impossible fucking thing you've got to get through. And this is life. This is how it is. But as soon as you see it as a challenge and as a test, then I think the better. Definitely helped me. But yeah, don't compare yourself to fucking others. Concentrate on your own shit. Everyone's on their own journey. You just need to worry about yourself. Don't worry about all this comparing. And definitely don't do it on fucking social media, because everything's just a fucking lie. Everything's just a highlight reel. But yeah, hope that helps someone. Please like, subscribe, share if that helped. Comment below if you've got anything to say as well. Really appreciate it. Cheers.